Welcome to this episode of The Good, The Bad and the Ugly. Your hosts Mark and Sam. Today we're getting into our first foray into Bollywood with the 2010 film Dabanng. Hi Sam.
Hey.
Okay, I'm going to play a few trailers here for some other podcasts and then we'll get into the movie.
One dark and stormy night in the mid-80s, Joe Bob Briggs, Harlan Ellison, and the ghost of El Santo pulled a train on Elvira while Siskel and Ebert sobbingly masturbated in the corner. From that union arose the greatest movie critic and luchador that ever lived. But we're not going to talk about him. He's kind of a dick. Instead, we're going to talk about me, El Goro, the stuttering movie fan and host of the Talk Without Rhythm podcast. Every week on Talk Without Rhythm, I discuss 2 to 3 movies tangentially tied together by a theme. I cover action.
I'm the most complete fighter in the world.
Sci-fi.
Open the pod bay doors, Hal.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
Horror.
Oh, no tears, please. It's a waste of good suffering.
And the continuing adventures of James Spader, sexual deviant.
You're not worried that I'm going to fuck you, are you? I'm not interested in that, and I'm the least. Now pull up your skirt.
So check me out at tworpodcast.blogspot.com, drunkenzombie.com, or subscribe on iTunes. Talk Without Rhythm, the only podcast that will not attract the worm. Adios!
Okay, so Dabanng, our first go at Bollywood. Is this the first Bollywood you've seen?
I don't know if it counts, but I have seen Slumdog.
Slumdog's kind of, it's Bollywood-like kind of.
Yeah,
isn't it?
that's why I said I'm not sure. So.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it Bollywood, but it gives you a flavour, definitely.
Yeah.
So I think this is our first pure Bollywood, as it were. A Hindi action film. It's subtitled and contains people I don't know, but I think they're quite famous in Bollywood. They were pretty, it worked well. Anyway, what was your general overall impression of the film?
I quite liked it.
I enjoyed it immensely, actually. It was a lot of fun. Very colourful. The songs were kind of goofy, but they didn't wear out their welcome, really. They kind of been and gone, and pretty much there was a load of choreography in the songs too, so it kind of kept the pace, and there was some silly stuff. So it amused as it went. Let's talk about some of the best scenes in it. Actually,
all of the fight scenes.
All of the fight scenes were pretty damn good. The first fight scene, he has a fight with a gang of guys with guns. He does have a gun, but he decides to take them out with a water hose, doesn't he?
Yeah, he beats them up with a water hose and then covers himself in grease as well as the floor.
So they and there's lots of action where they're sliding around the floor and this, that. And there's one bit, it's just about to hit a guy and his phone goes off and plays this piece of music and the copper starts dancing, doesn't he? He just starts dancing.
Yeah.
And he says, "Who's that?" And he says, "My mother." He goes, "Well, answer the phone for your mother." Kind of thing, and makes him take the phone call. And he keeps letting this one guy off because he kind of likes his ringtone.
Yeah.
He is the one copper. And then he steals the money and distributes it out with the rest of the police, so he's kind of a corrupt policeman, but he's the hero.
Yeah.
I don't know how that works, but that's
I think
fine.
it's either that or it goes to just like ends up in the evidence and no one keeps it. So I think it's probably they say that there was nothing but goes to good unquote unquote causes.
Yeah, I mean his character in that is Salman Khan is the sort of main actor. He plays a character called Chubal Pandey, who often refers to himself as Robin Hood Pandey.
Yeah,
which is kind of fun.
Or fearless.
Yes, Dabanng means fearless in Hindi. It appears. I have to say, I really, really like the opening number, which is Dabanng, where there's just a massive dance with all these guys in a market, and just their moves. They're really, it's proper dad dancing. That's kind of how it feels, but taken to an epic level. It was a lot of fun. But there's some kind of weird dark bits. The tone of the film kind of shifted around. There was like a woman getting deliberately, not given a. I don't want to spoil it. We're going to spoil it a bit.
A woman was like put in a position where she was going to suffocate,
and then
without an inhaler,
anyway.
and they were denied.
Yeah, it's kind of horrible. And there's a few bits like that, but mostly it's kind of light-hearted. There's quite a bit of gunplay. There's like there's wire work or something akin to wire work in this. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know, it can't possibly happen. You know, there are people flying across roofs.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. But it's a lot of fun.
Several bits where there was one in particular where he grabbed a guy who was holding a rifle and swung him out in front of a train. And then just pulled him back just in time.
Yes, and there was one bit. He was in a window below, on the top floor, but he wanted to get on the roof, so he literally just swung himself out the window by hanging onto something and landed on the roof.
That was goofy.
The cutting was kind of not great.
Yeah,
either.
the editing in this was pretty bad.
But it did add a lot of energy. Really,
there was a particular point where we had to stop, rewind it, and try and figure out what happened.
Was going on, yeah. And the guy was a kind of a bit of a dick, but he was kind of funny. The main character, and he was kind of, some of the conversations just seemed bizarre, and I don't know if that was translating the subtitles. It could have been that. It was kind of hard to make out what the conversation was really about, because I was saying, I don't know. They're just saying,
I think
sentences that didn't even kind of connect up.
I think it's like they were just giving a completely direct translation. Perhaps in Hindi it's more like subtle what they're talking about.
Yeah, that could be it. It did have a...
But when he just goes, I'm going to marry you, we've known each other for 2 days.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
There was stuff like that. There was also plots that didn't really feed into the main story. There was not much. A bit. In the end they did actually. By the end they did. But, he had a step brother who was a bit lazy, who wanted to get married, who stole some money and things like that.
Stole some money from him. So.
There was a guy that was I don't know.
So I think that was particularly good, where the brother stole the money so that he could get married in a big show, and then Chabul just showed up and hijacked the wedding with the help of police. Yeah, he I can't remember the lady's name in it, but basically it was a bit of a love story in this, but it wasn't. Raja?
Yeah, yes. Was it that her name?
Yeah, they kept calling her Erota for some reason.
Yeah, which means wretch or something like that, which sounded weird. And there was also, talking of dissonant stuff, basically she said she couldn't marry him, until her father was dead. She had to look after her father. And he goes and talks to his father and said, look, how are you going to sort this out? And the old fella kills himself.
Yeah.
Whoa, I did not see that coming. And that's just like normal plot.
That's like some Shakespearean.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. A lot of people consider this quite overrated, actually, but I really quite liked it. I thought it was a lot of fun. I can see why people tear on it, because, as I say, the editing didn't hang together. Some of the action was a bit incoherent, but it was kind of fun. There was a massive... Oh, and there's another bad guy. There's a bad guy in it who's kind of... I don't know. He kind of... Sometimes I thought he was the head of a union or something.
He was part of a political party.
Yeah, it was kind of odd.
He was running ale houses and I think a strip club at one point. But
there was one point you laughed your head off, because there was a scene where a guy went to visit him and there was just him and a couple of other guys standing around topless and all oiled up.
They're all oiled up.
It's like, what's going on here?
And there's another great bit where he's in the I think it might be a strip club of sorts, but doors open up and women are belly dancing. So
yeah, belly dancing. And he got up and danced.
No. He got up and he picked up a pillow and started hugging it and jumping about. It was so bizarre.
Yeah, I think that's probably how it didn't work for us was probably a cultural thing. I'm guessing if you see if you saw a film noir, a really sort of sophisticated film noir, and you didn't know anything about film noir, it would just seem weird.
Yeah.
And I think Bollywood might be a bit like that. If you've not seen some, the first one you see is always going to feel a bit weird, because you haven't quite got into the mindset of that kind of thing. I kind of like... It was odd, but I kind of like how they got revenge on the main villain for something he did in a sort of appropriate way. I don't want to go into the details, because honestly, this is worth seeing, this film.
Yeah.
No, it had loads of flaws, as I think we've sort of said, but overall it was a lot of fun, and I wasn't bored. Didn't look on my watch. I really enjoyed the first song. I thought it was terrific. Really terrific, the first song.
The rest are kind of forgettable.
Yeah.
There is one fairly funny bit after Chibble has married this girl, where he's like, while they're on their honeymoon, he ends up dancing with another belly dancer.
Yeah.
And this annoys the wife.
Yeah.
So she ends up crying outside. He comes out and offers her a tissue, and when she takes it, it's like a chain of different coloured tissues attached to each other.
Yeah, a magician's trick, isn't it? Handkerchiefs tied together. It's kind of fun. And she laughs, and it's kind of charming and funny. He does all sorts of stupid moves, like he'll throw his sunglasses up in the air, and they'll happen
catch
to land
on the back of his. Now, I watched the trailer for the set for Dabanng 2.
Yeah.
And it seems that she picks up that as well, because she had like sunglasses attached to the back of a sari or something.
I'm kind of keen to watch some more Bollywood. Not too much, but there is one other film I'm really keen to see at some point in the near future. It's called Indian Robot, which is like the Bollywood version of Terminator or something along those lines. Talking of which, there was some moves in this which seemed to come out of Matrix.
Yeah, there were several points where they did the Matrix pan round.
Yeah, there was a whole load of sheet glass came towards him, didn't it?
Yeah. He just ducked under
bullet
it.
Time sort of move. And it's kind of funny how it was kind of odd that this guy was like a corrupt copper. At one point he says they'll never believe we let him escape unless one of us gets shot.
And then he just shoots one the guy next to him.
And it's like,
and the guy starts thanking him.
Yeah, is this... It felt like it was supposed to be comedy, but it was just weird.
And they kept coming back to that guy. It's like he visited him in hospital. He's like, I can't actually use my left arm now. He goes, well, it was all for a good cause.
Yeah, and that's it. That's the end of it. And there's one bit when he has to go visit the villain's sort of den right near the end, where there's dozens of coppers cars. They all pull up, and there's like a mass battle.
Yeah,
of coppers versus and there's fire and all sorts.
There's like
CGI
bombs going off. There's a bit where they use a grenade to launch a car into the building that they're in.
Yes, there's all sorts of craziness, and it's kind of fun. It is fun.
Ends with the shirtless fist fight. However,
oh yeah, they start taking their shirts off, don't they? Just for no good reason.
Chapul sort of flexes his shirt off.
Yes. Like the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
That is funny. Very entertaining. Didn't make much sense.
Nah.
Didn't really matter. It was fine.
Nah.
I just found it very enjoyable. I think we're going to play out with the song as well. It's well worth hearing.
Yeah.
So what would you give this out of 10?
I'd give this an 8.
I'll give it an 8 too. It was all over the place. It was a mess, but it was very joyful, fun kind of film. The energy just kept it chugging along and overrode all the flaws and sort of plot holes and plot issues and stuff like that. But man, that title song sequence just after the beginning credits was a joy to behold and was a great laugh. It's probably available on YouTube. You can watch it.
Yeah.
I'm guessing. I don't know for sure. It was well worth seeing this film. Okay, bye from me.
Bye.
मन बलवान लागे चट्टान